crazy news has just come down right now. We have Olympic Lionel has been relegated to League Two. This is crazy madness going on. I don't know, even know how to describe it, but it is honestly a crazy decision. Of course, you see here Fabrizio Romano has basically just reported that the news can be appealed, but it is crazy time. It is crazy moment. Leon, who has a rich history in the French side of the French league, has been relegated to League Two. That is truly disappointing. But guys, welcome back to Pillar Sports. Today we are going to be talking about the transfer window and the things that has happened, and we are going to get into it. So without further ado, let's talk about it, guys. Let's go. Well, thank you guys very much for joining us today. We are going to be talking more on transfer window and things that we have to talk about. But first things first, like you see on the thumbnail, we are going to be talking about Nico Williams to Barcelona. Nico Williams has basically been reported that Nico Williams and his agent informed Athletic about the player's desire to join Barcelona. Are still not open to installments, only full release clause. The agreement Barca and Nico until June 2031 is done as revealed, and the Athletic have informed whatever. So in this situation, it is madness for Barcelona because it's quite sad that um, Athletic Bilbao are not going to be taking installments. They want the total amount of money ASAP. They want it now and they want it done right away. They do not want to give Barcelona any deal because, of course, they play in the same league and you're taking their best player to your club. So it's going to be a difficult one for Barcelona to get this deal done, especially because they are still in a very precarious situation with the financial fair play kind of rules, including the likes of Athletic Bilbao. They also have their problems financially, and so that alone is going to be troublesome for the two sides to agree. However, we're going to keep you guys updated on this particular one. It is going to get better and it's going to get really testy. So I'm going to keep you guys updated. We also have Andre Onana. Fabrizio Romano has given us a report that Andre Onana's deal with AS Monaco is not concrete. There's no concrete target as for AS Monaco now, as situation has gone completely cold despite reports. Nothing into it so far. So that's what Fabrizio Romano is saying. For me, in this particular situation, I believe that Andre Onana is going to be Manchester United's goalkeeper or starting goalkeeper next season. It's not what a lot of people want to hear, but that is what we got, and that is honestly what we have to work with. And to me, I understand it. Do I like it? Not really. But Andre Onana is a good goalkeeper, and in my opinion, I'm okay with him being here and actually just being the goalkeeper that he has been. He just needs to get a little bit better. That's what I would say in this situation. And then we go into the next one, and that is Gittens from Borussia Dortmund, so BVB. It basically reported by Florian Plattenberg that Chelsea are currently making the most effort to sign Gittens from Borussia Dortmund. New talks with Dortmund have taken place. The clubs are working towards an agreement worth 65 million euros. Verbal agreement until 2032 is still done. Max Abel, who is the current chairman of, I believe, Bayern Munich, yes, still has Gittens high on his list, but Bayern have only discussed him or with him internally again and with his agents the same contract as for Bradley Barcola. There have been no negotiations meeting with Dortmund so far. It is now up to Chelsea to submit a suitable offer. One decision is certain: Gittins will leave Borussia Dortmund. So that's definitely one thing that we know for sure. With Gittens kind of understanding that he's going to be leaving Borussia Dortmund, that basically is showing that it just needs a club to kind of grasp this by the neck and make it done. And one thing is for sure, Borussia Dortmund is not going to let him go for a cheap price. They are somebody. They have done it to Manchester United with Jadon Sancho. They have done it to a lot of people, and they are going to get every single penny from this deal before they kind of let him go. With Fabrizio on this same topic, you say despite the links with Bayern, Chelsea are close to completing Jermaine Gittens' deal. Understand direct meeting with Borussia Dortmund took place on Monday. Chelsea maintained 7-year deal agreements with JBG, who wants the move. Talks on the way again between two clubs. So that's definitely from Fabrizio Romano, who is the dawn of the transfer window. So we can definitely take it to the bank to that for that particular one. And then for what's his name, Milos Kerkesh, everything is ready for the announcement of Milos Kerkesh. Medical is passed, contract is signed until 2030. Milos Kerkesh is now a red, and that is good news for Liverpool fans. This is a player that is worth every goddamn penny when it comes to this situation. I just can't even make up with this absolute news that Lyon has been relegated to the second league, the second division. Of course, this comes with them having a lot of financial problems and then almost going down in terms of their financial sustainability. um, this is where you have to see other clubs and your clubs that you support actually going in and getting a good deal for themselves. You've seen Manchester City going in and getting the likes of Ryan Cherky. You still have players like Nathan Miles over there. You still have the goalkeeper that's really good in that sense. There's a lot of players, a lot of promising players that could actually see being picked off with this situation going on right now. So we look into Bayer Leverkusen has open talk with Malik Tillman, the US, um, I think he's a striker, if I'm not mistaken. Borussia Dortmund have opened talks to sign Malik Tillman. If I, let's read it together. Breaking news: Bayer Leverkusen have open talks to sign Malik Tillman. Bayer Leverkusen are open to activating the release clause and consider him an exciting player. No full agreement yet. Sorry. More talks scheduled. His contract with PSV Eindhoven is valid until 2028, so he's still under contract. And in this situation, I know he's a really good player and he has just been called up to the US men's team. He is a really talented footballer. That's one thing we know for sure. So the good thing about this situation is that they get, in terms of Bayer Leverkusen, they will be getting a really talented player, and that would be good for Eric Ten Hag for sure, especially as he goes on to making sure that he can get his career back on track and not be hindered by what happened at Old Trafford. What next are we going to be talking about in this situation? We also have news from Franco Mastantuono. Franco Mastantuono basically said today, as he was talking about Xavi Alonso, he says, when Xavi Alonso spoke to me, it was incredible. I am thankful to him. The conversations with him was very important because when a coach actually wants you, it gives you a lot of confidence. So that is Franco Mastantuono speaking about his move to Real Madrid. If you guys do not know, this deal is complete already. They just have to wait until the Club World Cup is done, and then he's going to be joining Real Madrid in July. And something that is dear to my heart is a Nigerian player called Moses Simon. Moses Simon has completed his medical at Paris FC today after deal done with Nate for 7 million euros. If you guys do not know who Paris FC is, it is the major, absolutely hated rival of Paris Saint-Germain. In fact, if you guys do not know this, Paris Saint-Germain and Paris FC literally have one highway streets separating their stadiums. So you have one in this side and the other in the other on the other side of the road. So it is going to be fun because now they are in Ligue 1. It is going to be fun to see how it actually is because when PSG are playing home, Paris will basically just need to cross the road and go play at PSG Stadium. And when PSG are playing away and playing at the Paris Stadium, they will have to do the same. It is madness, but that is how it is in terms of the two teams. But they are bitter rivals, and it's good to see Paris back in League On. We also have Christian Folk today talking about Leo Goretzka coming to Manchester United. This particular one here, I am not really happy about because Leon Goretzka is a really good player, but we are looking for a player that is dynamic enough to do magic in terms of playing that two pivot with Bruno Fernandes. So what he basically says here is what Leo Goretzka said about Manchester United's transfer is intriguing. In my opinion, I don't think we even need to kind of entertain that particular situation because I do not want him anywhere close to Manchester United. We have a news from Dave Ornstein that literally just dropped, and we are going to be talking about it here. It basically says here Brentford are in advanced talks with UK based South African businessman Gary Lubna and English filmmaker Matthew Vaughn. Who the heck is that? About a minority investment in the Premier League club. I need to know who Matthew Vaughn is. I think I've heard the name before, but I just don't know who exactly he is. And let's find out. Matthew Vaughn. Let's see. Oh, I do not know who he is, but apparently he is the guy that made Kick Ass. Pause. Kingsman, The Secret Service, X-Men First Class, Kingsman, The Golden Circle, Stardust, Kingsman, and Agile. So yeah, he does have an extensive career behind him for sure. So he should have the money to do it. So that's for sure. Good for them. I think Brentford would definitely need a lot of money kind of pumped into their system this summer, especially after losing Thomas Frank and probably going to be losing Brian Mbeumo to Manchester United. This is going to be a situation that they would need a lot of backing to get them back into really good standing. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this situation. As we spoke about Gittens to Chelsea and Bayern interest in Gittens. We spoke about Nico Williams to Barcelona and Atletico Bilbao needing for Barcelona to absolutely give them what they need. We spoke about not Borussia Dortmund, but Bayer Leverkusen opening talks with Malik Tillman. We spoke about, unfortunately, Lyon being relegated to League Two. That is quite disappointing. And Milos Kerkesh joining Liverpool. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Comment down below what you think about every situation that we just spoke about. I will see you guys in the next one. Love y'all. Peace.